It's your girl, Tia Shasha High, the host of Millennial High, where the trend-setting millennial comes for motivation, inspiration, and deep conversation. On today's show, filmmaker S.L. Sawyer. Hey.
Hey, lady. How's it going?
Good. We'll vibe about the importance of diversity in cinema and how you can write and direct your own film. So if you have a storyline you think will make a great short film, keep it locked. We'll be talking to Shamika about that and learning a little bit more about her. We'll also discuss the metoo movement, Harvey Weinstein, and the calling out of Hollywood power players. And our Trendsetter segment, highlighting people, music, ideas, and events on the leading edge, Shamika will introduce 5 shorts filmmakers. Teresa, Camila, and Janelle are in the studio, and we'll vibe with them about their films and how they found out about Shamika's great project. A little bit about Millennial High. This show serves as a platform for those to inspire, uplift, and move others towards a greater purpose in life. So if you want to be on the show, if you have a thought-provoking, uplifting message you want to share with the millennials of the world, I want you. Email me at millennialhigh@gmail.com and let's connect. But first, let's set the mood. I'm going to play a little Nicki Minaj. This is dedicated to my daughter. I love you, honey. It is a moment for life. So keep it locked, stay tuned. We're going to come back with Shamika. And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM in Philadelphia. I'm your host, Tia Shasha High, and you're listening to Millennial High. With me in the studio, I have S.L. Sawyer. How are you, girl?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm great. I'm so great. I'm so happy that you finally got a chance to be on the show.
I know.
It's been how many months? At least 4 or 5 that I've been wanting you on the show.
Yeah.
It's hard to track you down.
Yeah, it gets a little crazy, but you know what? I'm happy we're doing this today because I was able to bring some of the filmmakers with me for the project. So, yeah, I think it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. S.L. Sawyer is an independent filmmaker. She is a creative director of Live Footage 215 and creator of the 5 Shorts project, which is so awesome, by the way. I can't wait to talk about that. The Mix Up TV show and Philadelphia Actors Connect. So talk to me. I want to get right into it because we have a great show today. The studio is packed. Like, I don't know. I think you're doing a Facebook Live, right?
Yes, I am. And
we have a full house in here. It's about like 15 people in here. No, not that many. But there's a lot of people in here, and they're all going to take a turn on the mic. So
yes,
talk to me, Tamika. Talk about the 5 Shorts project. Like, how did you get into becoming an independent filmmaker?
Okay, so it all started back at the University of Pennsylvania. I was a student there, and I took some film classes. Film is not my major, or not what I have my degree in. It's communications, but I fell in love with film after taking some classes and working on some student film projects. So what I decided to do once I graduated, and I had this awesome meetup group called Philadelphia Actors Connect, I decided, like, listen, we all need experience and we all need to work together. So that's where the 5 Shorts project came in. It was about helping filmmakers that's trying to get more credit or more views, publicity, and also trying to help the actors who are looking for stuff to put on their resume, some experience, to help them as well. So that's where it came from.
So communications, how did you get into acting? Did you start out in acting or behind the scenes first and film and the actual directing and creation of a film?
About that. Okay, so I started in acting. I have a degree in theater from the Community College of Philadelphia. Shout out to them. And at first I wanted to be in front of the camera. That was my goal. Like, yes, I need to be like the next Sanaa Lathan, or, you know, I'm just keep saying Sanaa Lathan. She's one of my favorites. And I don't know, after I took the film classes and worked behind the scenes, I enjoyed that more because I had more control over the story and how it would be portrayed. So I figured, you know what? Let me be like the next Ava DuVernay. So yeah.
Absolutely. So then talk to me about you have a few other projects though besides Five Shorts. You have Mix Up TV, the Actors Connect. You talked about it a little bit. So where did you have time to start and work on all of these projects? Which came first?
Okay, so I had Actors Connect first, and that was about just helping actors learn more about the craft without having to go to college to do so. So at first I would bring in like acting coaches and casting directors from New York to come in and have workshops and teach the actors or whatever. And from there, I just noticed that if you're not in New York or LA or now Atlanta, it's kind of hard to find work here in Philadelphia. So it's like, I know film and I know the acting side as well. Why not, connect with others who know film to help bring opportunities to these actors? So yeah, that's where we started with the Actors Connect group. And then that helped to birth the Five Shorts project. And the TV show, The Mix Up, came about because, again, trying to spotlight those who are doing things here that don't get much recognition. So that's always my key goal, is really not about me. I really like to help other people that I see that's out there trying to do this, but no one is really opening a door.
Acknowledging them,
Yeah.
right. So, I have to ask. Okay. So, I mean, it's great to have these projects, right? It's great to be doing what you're doing. And where do you find the time? Because I know you have a baby girl, don't you?
Yes, I do. And
Where
she's
do you
two.
find the time to do this? Because, and this is a little bit, especially for a little bit for the audience too, because I know I'm a big person on like time management,
Right.
and you have you want to do everything, you wish you could
Yes.
do everything in the world, right? But you can't,
Right.
unfortunately,
Right.
not all at once. So how do you manage your time?
It's a lot of juggling, like, just multitasking and doing a lot of things at once. So while I'm home with my daughter, she thinks she can edit films, by the way. So it's a lot of like trying to wait until she takes a nap to do this, that, and the third when I'm at work, when I have some downtime, let me put it that way. I try to get some things done there. But I will say this, you really need a understanding and supportive family, because I do have that. I do have people in my life that will help me and understand that, yeah, it's a lot, but this is what I want to do. And, they're willing to lend a hand and help me in that process. So I love my mom. I have my, as they say, better half here. So sometimes I love him, sometimes I don't. But
Make a movie about it, all right?
Right,
Make a movie,
I know.
put it
That's
in
the
a
next
script.
one. That's the next one.
I tell my friend that. I tell her because she writes too, and actually maybe I should introduce you to.
Cool.
She writes too, and she has this idea for like this one woman show, and it's a love story, but it's so much deeper than that. But I'm just being very surface. She was on my show last week,
Right.
and anytime she texts me or calls me and she's like complaining about this guy, and I'm like, write it down.
I know.
Put it in the script. I'm like, write it down.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about your creative process. So
I'm a little weird. So like, I'm really out of the box. Like, I really like to think out of the box. I like to do things that others are not doing or are a little afraid to do. Like, my first short was called Delete and Block. And it's about a situation we may know very well from others in our lives or around us. And it was about a young lady who fell in love with this guy on Instagram. She never met him. They never talked, but he used to like her pictures. And she thought from that they were in a relationship. I know you guys know somebody that's like that, right? So when they actually ended up meeting, she found out that he was not interested in women, but men. So, but she found out the hard way. Like, he was in a coffee shop and he was at a table with a guy, and she was like, oh my God, there he is. After she stalked him on Instagram to find out where he would be. So she decided to be there too. And when she went rushing over, she saw them holding hands and she like fell. You guys have to check it out. It was my first short.
I sound so interesting. I love it already. Where can we find that?
You can find that on YouTube, and it's on live footage. It's under my live footage account, but I am going to transfer all the videos to 5 shorts as well. But for right now, live footage is where you will find it. And I must say, we have 2 of the actors here from that short. We have Garland Overby, who's now directing, and we also have Janelle,
hey,
who's making a film with 5 shorts. So yeah, and Janelle was not the in case you guys are wondering, she's not the person that was tripping. It was it was another person by the name of Carissa, who's not here, but shout out to Carissa for doing that for me. And yeah, it was fun. We had a great time. So yeah, that was my first short. The second one, can I go into it?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I talk a lot, so let me know if I'm doing too much. The second short was called what was it called?
The Interview.
The Interview. That's right, because Teresa was in it, and she was really ratchet. She was
yes.
She had an attitude with me, and it was based on my name. My name is Shamika, and the stereotypes that comes with having an ethnic name, as they say.
Right.
And when you go for a job, and you just know the interviewer has these thoughts in their head, but they're not saying it. So this short really brings out those thoughts. Like You'll hear her.
It's like a voiceover or something.
Yeah, you'll hear the thoughts and see the shade. And Garland again was in that film as well. So Garland
is like the Denzel.
Yes,
shorts and villains.
Yes, he is. And it's so good to see him stepping over into directing as well. Yeah, that's what this project is about. We just offer opportunities and want to see people grow and do great things.
So tell me about so I know that it seems like you take situations, little minor situations, and you can create an entire short film about it.
Yeah.
Like the idea of what is it like to go on an interview with an ethnic name.
Right.
And that's a film.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool because you know what? When you're the filmmaker, you have the control.
Yeah.
So you write it and you just say, hey, listen, I know I'm not the only person going through this, but I am, strong enough and open enough to put this situation out here and let people know you're not alone.
Right.
I'm with you.
What's the typical, so how do you know when an idea is too vast for a short versus a full-length feature? What can you explain what a short film is? How long does it have to be? And then when does it start going into the full length? And then how do you write for a short?
Okay, so a short film can be as long as 30 minutes, in my opinion. Some will say 40, 45. Once you get into the 60-minute range or 50 to 55 minutes, that's considered feature, right? Because you're about an hour, so that's not short. How do you write a short film? Well, you may have plenty of ideas or thoughts in your head about, I want to do this, that, and a third. The key is to concentrate on one situation. And from that one situation, you build your script and you figure out your cast and how you're going to shoot it. Now, with that being said, some people can take one situation and make it into a total feature-length film, which is fine. But with shorts, you just want to try to keep it simple. You don't want to do too much because then it becomes too much for you. Shooting that and then having to edit it's a lot. So you want to just try and keep it simple. Stick to one subject matter if you can. Some people do intersect, like Bethel. She's not here, but her short, she really intersects 3 different situations into this 10-minute short film. And the way she did it is really great. And I'm not going to spoil it for her because maybe sometime in the future she'll come and tell you how she did it. But you can do that. But to me, I just like to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Simple always works. People get it. They're not confused. Well, some are not confused. Some you have to lead to the water, say drink. But yeah, it's that's my process. That's the way I do it.
So, and that's, I guess, what it's, so the 5 Shorts project is, say what that is. Like, what is that about?
Okay, so the way I like to put this is that this is a project that helps aspiring filmmakers to create a short film. Meaning, in the past, we've had people with experience, but I really like to focus on people who want to do this, and this is their first time doing it. What we do is we take you from pre to post production. What does that mean? That means we help you from concept, from your script, to casting, to getting your crew, to figuring out your locations. That's pre-production to actual production. So if you don't have a camera person, I'll be your camera person. I would say we would provide that, but it's only me. So I can be your camera person, or you can find whoever. We'll help you with everything from getting camera people, sound people, all that, and then even into editing your film down, helping you find music, whatever you need, we help you. And to be honest, it is a collective because everybody that's associated with the project will help each other out.
Okay.
So you never feel alone. You don't feel overwhelmed. I will reach out to you as many times as I need to make sure that you feel okay and you want to continue with this project, because that's the overall goal, to get you to see that you can do this and to see your eyes light up when you see your stuff on a screen and see it on television. Like, that's the best part to me.
Yeah. Sounds good. So then before we go to a break, let's introduce who you have here from the project.
Okay.
And they'll just, say their names and a little bit, maybe the title of their film, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll talk to them.
All right, so I have Miss Teresa Anderson here.
Hello.
Teresa. I know Teresa. Hey, girl.
Hi. The name of my film is A is for Apple, which Tia will make a cameo in.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And I am so thankful for that, let me tell you. Thank you for keeping me in there.
Yes.
The next filmmaker we have is Camila Abdul.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Camila.
Hey, what's your film, honey?
New phone, who this?
I love that.
Makes you want to watch, right?
Oh my gosh, I love that. New phone, who this?
Right? So, and the next filmmaker we have is my girl, Miss Janelle T. Harvey. I'll put your whole government out there.
Hey guys, my film is Love Finally. Shamika is editing, and Garland here is going to co-direct.
Right.
Awesome.
So, should I introduce Mr. Garland Overby?
Yeah, she just might as well.
Yeah.
Mr. Director up in the building.
Exactly.
I'm the lonely dude in here, so but I'm directing like 3 of the films, and I'm looking forward to working with the ladies and just getting their vision out there. That's most important.
All right.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, so when we come back from break, we are going to talk to all the producers, all the filmmakers here. I can't wait to hear a little bit about your story and how you enjoy filmmaking. It's your first time, so I'm excited to hear it. And our next song I'm going to play, what I really love here, and I play EDM all the time. Like that's my thing. So a little inspiration with dance music. So let's go back to that. I want to play Hallucinations. I love the song. I heard it maybe 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I gotta play it on the show. It's a new one. And who's it by, babe? Rehab. All right, and we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM in Philadelphia. I'm your host, Tia Shasha High. This is Millennial High. I have SL Sawyer in the house with me.
Sure do.
This amazing independent filmmaker who created so many awesome projects here in Philadelphia, one being the 5 Shorts project. And she brought with her her amazing, I guess, what'd you call them, like, collective, her amazing collective group, right?
These brilliant independent women that
Yes, and Garland.
Yes.
And Garland.
And then there's Garland.
So I know Teresa. Hey, Teresa.
Hey.
I want to talk to Teresa a little bit. Before the break, Teresa's show is A is for Apple. Her movie is A is for Apple. So tell us a little bit about how you came, what the idea behind A is for Apple is, and about your experience in the Five Shorts project.
Okay, so first off, A is for Apple is about a school teacher. It's the first day of school, and it shows her journey of getting up on the first day and actually getting to the school and being greeted by her students, her fellow teachers, and then interacting with the students on that first day. It's always very challenging on the first day of school, as I know, because I am a school teacher.
Love it.
So it's just things that I've experienced over the years, or I've seen people experience over the years, in a comedic kind of way.
Right,
I like
yeah.
to do things in a comedic kind of way. And this has been my first time writing a short film. Garland Overby, of course, is helping to direct it. And this is my third year actually doing something with the project. Last year I was in a film. Garland actually wrote a film, 95 Degrees Cheese, and I was an actor in his film. The year before that, I was an actor in Shamika's film, The Interview. I started out just wanting to be in the background, and I was in Shamika's film, and it's like I just wanted to be in the background.
It was a good thing. It was a good thing. It was good.
So, and I loved it. I've
Yeah.
always liked drama and, plays and singing and dancing. And this was like, I just caught the bug. And
Yeah.
I've been a part of it ever since. And I'm enjoying it, just from creating a film, seeking a location. And, I've learned a lot, a lot this time.
Would you okay, so anyone listening out here who's interested in maybe the next season of Five Shorts, what advice would you give them?
I would say don't be afraid. If you have an idea, even if you just write out the idea, someone can help you even put the script together, put it on paper, just from start to finish. Even if you just have an idea, someone can help you write it and get your ideas down on paper. And just don't be afraid. You have a lot of support. I know I was very intimidated at first, just the whole idea of trying to make a film.
Right.
But once you get into it and get around these amazing people, Shamika is wonderful. Just makes you feel she just makes you feel comfortable, like you can do it. And no matter what your challenges are, which I've experienced a few challenges, she's just like, you can still do it, and you can really put it together. It seems intimidating, but once you get into it, you'll see that you have a lot of support and it's not as bad as you think it is.
And Camila, hi. I see you. You're next. So let's talk about your film. Say the name again, because I think it's so amazing. And then also just a little bit about the concept behind it.
Okay, my film is called New Phone Who Dis. Not Who This, but Who Dis.
Right.
With a D.
Right.
Yeah, I get the D.
Yeah. PC.
Okay. Right.
Yes.
Go ahead. Good.
Yes. New Phone Who Dis is about a millennial. What they call a millennial.
A millennial.
spread.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes, it's a young lady, and she's really bubbly, and I can't really go on into what the film is really about because I'll be giving it away.
Yeah.
It's a real twist to it.
Okay.
But it's like an upbeat film, but it suddenly takes like a turn, and it has you kind of like on your, I guess, the edge of your seat.
Oh, cool. Awesome. But then, how did you come up with the concept? Because I see that sometimes a lot, like, oh, new phone, who dis? Like, as a joke, as like, I don't know you anymore because I look so good now, or I don't, you know what I mean? It's just like.
But this new phone, who dis is
Oh,
a
it's
whole
completely
nother
different.
level.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so that
Yeah.
feels suspense. That
Yes.
feels like. So then, how did you hear about the Five Shorts project?
The Five Shorts project, I was on social media, and I would say like a few years ago. And Shamika, I had messaged her, and I didn't see this message till recently. I just kind of put two and two together. I didn't realize it was her. I had messaged her some years ago, but I had to go away when it was starting. And that's when I first found out about it. But then when it came up again, I was actually in a 5 short last year, the last one. And it was A Father's Sorrow. And I played this crazed woman.
She did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really crazy. And I had to dig really deep to get that to come out of me, you know, because I'm not like that at all.
All right.
If anyone knows me, they know I'm not crazy. So,
Don't start.
yeah, it took a lot to get there.
So then you reached out to Shamika and said, "Hey, I want to be a part. I want to actually be a filmmaker."
But you know what? When I did it a couple years ago, she never answered me.
Listen, I didn't have Messenger then. I keep telling.
Look, she still hasn't answered.
Right.
We just scooted past that.
And you know what? We noticed like recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Same.
Yeah, it was funny. But from me being in the 5 shorts last year, this year I was like, I want to do that. I want to do the short film thing because I just recently finished writing. Well, 2 years ago, I'm in production with a play that I wrote.
Okay.
So I'm doing theater.
Yeah.
But film is something that I've always wanted to do. So this was a really good chance for me to get my feet wet. The idea of New Phone Who Dis, I would say it came 2 years ago. It was just a thought.
Oh, wow.
And
yeah.
I was like coming up with the storyline in my head. And I wanted it to be a serious subject, but I wanted to add some comedy to it.
Mm-hmm.
That was important for me to make things serious but funny at the same time.
How do you, like, what's the difference between, just briefly, writing a play, the difference between writing a play and a short film?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there really was no difference for me. I just kind of just wrote everything down. I just write it down. And the structure and everything I do last. But what was different was, I guess, when you're actually doing the performance, it's totally different. You know, theater, it's harder. I would say it's more difficult because it's like, you know, it's showtime and
Right.
it's whatever it's out there, it's out there. But with film, it's like you say, cut.
Right, their
you know?
takes, right?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Awesome. Janelle, how are you?
I'm good.
Tell us about the name of your film again and the concept behind it.
Love Finally. Okay. Yes, Love Finally, as it sounds, exasperated. It's basically about a young woman, like late 20s, and she's had several failed relationships, and she's definitely not looking to have any more, but she unexpectedly falls in love. And she's also on this journey toward religion that she keeps falling on and off of, so she's trying to stay on track now, and she falls in love again.
What was the inspiration for that story?
It was personal, because I'm a poet first, and most of what I write easily comes from the heart. And I was going in the middle of a breakup, 20-time breakup, and that came to mind. So I have a lot of desires with art and with love, and that's what happened.
So it sounds like it was was it writing a form of therapy for you, like getting it all on paper, and then now it's just out of mind onto paper, and then you see it perform, and you're like, okay, I'm good now, or
Right.
no, it's deeper.
Very good question. In all the years I've been writing poetry, yes, I can say it has been therapy because that's how I express. And I'm not talking to people because I really don't talk to people. I'm antisocial. But now it's not only a form of therapy, it's a form of outward expression toward others with the same circumstances.
So then who's your audience for this? Are you writing it from a breakup point of view, or kind of like a reflective type of point of view? You know what I mean?
I think I got you. It is reflective, but it's also, I'm trying to find the right words. It's for every audience,
All right.
because we all can relate,
Absolutely.
men and women too.
Absolutely. Awesome. So then how did you find out about the 5 Shorts project?
This is my favorite story, one of them. The end of 2014, a woman I know, Tiffany Dean, she's a poet, playwright too, had learned from Shamika, I think on Meetup. And so she was like, come with me. And in my mind, I was not thinking about film. I would have never seen myself doing this. So I came, and then they were doing like a meetup, and they were like, so we're looking for actors and actresses. And I was like, okay, I want to try. Because I don't like audiences. I don't like being on stage, but I'm doing more now. And I was a part of Delete and Block. I was a part of the last year's season, 98 Degrees Cheese. You know, and here I am now. And then a couple years passed, and then I just accidentally wrote this piece. So here I am.
I love that accidentally. I love when you said accidentally wrote this.
She's a poet. That's
right,
what they
exactly.
do.
Right. So then what would you, Janelle and Camilla, recommend for anyone listening who will be interested in the next season of 5 Shorts? Like, recommend that they do or don't do? Like, do you have a piece of advice?
The number one do is to follow people in the practice. Mm-hmm. You know, network. Even if you don't network, just stay on social media or just come to meetings and be quiet if you want. Because when you're around people who do this, you may find yourself doing it absent-mindedly. So I think art is a part of all of us. We just don't think so because we think there's a format to it, which there is in some cases. If you desire it, then start practicing it. If you're shy and quiet like I am, work on it little by little because it will come out of you with around the right people. Camilla?
I agree because I'm shy and quiet also. And I guess through the last maybe like four years, I've been sort of coming out of my shell. I'm a Cancer, you know, we're like laid back, reserved. So I would encourage anyone, you know, if you have some thoughts or some ideas that you want to put down on paper, just do it and come to the 5 Shorts and they'll help you get it out there.
Right. So, Shamika, talk to us about the process. So, I know what season is this? Your 4th season?
Yes, it is.
This is your 4th season. So when is this season end? And do you have kind of like a film release party or something for your filmmakers? So how does that work?
Okay, this is how it works. So this season will probably in between December, January, depending on how the films are edited and if everyone is happy. Because I like to make sure that's done first. And next year we're planning the screening for March because it's Women's History Month. Right. And I thought that would be great because this season we have all women filmmakers. So I thought that would be a great way to help, you know, just promote their films and the project. What happens is after we have the screening, the films will air on Philly Cam's station for the next month, so probably April. And then I usually start accepting submissions for season 5, probably around like end of June, July. By August, we're having our first meeting with the people who are selected. So this is what happens, right? I put the call out there, looking for filmmakers, you know, submit your script, blah, 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 right? You submit your script. If I get more than 5 scripts, I will read all the scripts and pick out the ones that I think are great and can be a part of the project. I notify you, and then we have our meeting. At our meeting, you'll learn more about the project, and we'll go over your script and all that great stuff. And you'll also learn that you're not alone totally, that there's a collective of people who are here to help you with that process. And then from there, from August on throughout December, you're making a film. Yeah. So, and it's a lot of fun. It's stressful at times, I will tell you that, because sometimes you may have issues with locations. Right. You may have issues with people.
Look at you. You're like, testify. Garland's like,
you know, you may have issues with people. stuff just may go totally wrong, but that's why I'm here, because I usually try to be the person to tell you to keep it going. Don't give up. Don't give up. We can do this. There's sort of a schedule. Like, I try to give people pointers about, when you should shoot, when you should go into editing. But at the end of the day, I understand that stuff happens because I'm a filmmaker. So at least if we can get it done, like filmed by December, you should be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the process.
So are you at every taping? For every... or do you try to be? Or, like, how does that...
If I'm needed, I'm there.
Okay.
So it's like if you want me to run camera for you, then I'll run camera for you. If you need me on sound, I'll do sound, right? But if you don't need me there, I totally trust your judgment. Like, if you feel as though I can handle this on my own, I'm like, fine, do that, because I want you to learn as much as you can. If you feel like it's better if you're by yourself, fine. But I do let people know I am available if you need me. So if you're on set and something is going totally wrong and I'm not there, you can always call me and say, hey, listen, this is not working or whatever, and I'll try to walk you through it. So it's just a thing of just being supportive and making sure that you feel like I have the support I need to get this done. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like I'm alone. And I can say everybody that's a part of the project is really down to earth and willing to help. So you always feel like, okay, stuff is going crazy, but I do have people that I can call and they'll be here to help me. So
I want to go back to you saying that this is the first time you've had all women filmmakers.
Yes.
So why, and I'm going to open us up to everyone.
Awesome.
Why do you think it's so important for more female, especially African American females? Are they all black females?
Yes.
To have their voice heard or be seen in film?
Because we're so marginalized in this industry. It's getting better now. You have Issa Rae, you have Ava DuVernay, you have Shonda Rhimes. So our voices are getting out there, but it's still not enough of our voices getting out there, and especially for women that's just getting into this. Mm-hmm. Like, I think Ava said she started at 32. So, at the end of the day, it's like there is no age limit to doing this, right? But sometimes in this industry, you will feel like, oh, I didn't start when I was like 15. Right. So, I'm behind the curve because now, this person started at 15 and now they're, 29 and they know everything. No, technology is always changing. Right. The industry is always changing. So I think with this project, it enables women of different age groups to feel comfortable coming into this and making a film. Mm-hmm. We try to make it not intimidating. Right. So I think it's really important that women of color from different age ranges share their stories, because we're all different and we're all going through different things. So why not put those stories out there?
Right. And then, and I'm sorry, Teresa, were you going to say? And then, Janelle, even with your story, your love story, it's so rare to see, Black love stories. Like, that's true. I mean, for me, and it would be nice to see. And I remember, even, I have a daughter, but it was just, we were looking on Netflix the other day. We were trying to find something to watch. We really have like our movie night, and I'm like, I was going through it. I'm like, there are no Black movies. Like, where are all the Black actors and actors? Like, where is everybody at? We were really trying to find something or someone out there. The majority of the times I saw, they were like stand-up stuff, like the old Def Comedy Jam stuff on Netflix. But there was like really no films that my daughter and I could watch together and see people who look like us, not killing each other. Know what I mean? And it's so that's why, so this makes sense. This makes total sense to me. And then, like I said, I'm opening up the floor to anyone, even Garland, even though Garland. Why is it important? Like for you, for a filmmaker, obviously you're a male, but
I would like to think I'm a male.
Would you like
Garlinda.
to see? Do you think that there should be more? No, seriously, more women taking a shot, more women of color taking a shot and making stories about us.
Say the right answer.
Oh, exactly. Say the right thing. No, I'm joking.
Well, like this season, I was going to bring another movie in, but when Shamika told me about the other filmmakers that was coming along, I said, no, I got to step back. I said, because these ladies need to have their stories just out there. So the one thing I like about this season versus the other seasons, actually every lady has a different story. So that makes it more compelling. Like you have Teresa, she has a comedy. Camille has a comedy / drama. Then you got Janelle, who I'm still working with. She takes a little slower, but she has definitely, once I read the script, I was just like, we got to put this out here. Bethel's, who I'm working with, hers is just mad crazy. It's nice. It's really, So, and Dee's, hers also. So it's,
Dion.
Yeah, Dion. So, just to see these ladies come together and even someone work together,
Right.
you have to step back.
Yeah.
So, it's beautiful. And, the thing with Shamika, the one thing I like working with her is that, she's 2 steps ahead. So she's thinking of something and I'm thinking of 2 steps ahead. So it mean I was like, let them rock and roll.
Yeah.
We're both Sagittarius.
Yes.
By the way.
Sagittarius in the
So we
house.
gotta have, we gotta.
And that's and another point too is that Shamika, I know you and I were talking a few weeks ago when we were at the table read for actually Teresa's movie. And you share with me this theory because in my mind I'm thinking like, and another reason for me to feel like women and just women should take control and make the stories and create the stories is because sometimes things like this happen. What happened with the Harvey Weinstein and supposedly what's been happening in Hollywood throughout the years,
Right.
and it's kind of like, as a woman, to get a great role in a film or to even be taken seriously is kind of like, you got to do some things behind the scenes, right? You got to do these things that people are talking about, which aren't too cool. So we take control of it.
Right.
We take control. We, own the storyline. We have the studios, so, so what do you think about that? I know you have a theory about that all. And so I want to open the mic to you to kind of like have that discussion that we had the other day.
Oh, okay. Well,
It can be, but what I'm saying is, in context to this, you don't have to say your entire theory, but in context to
I'm
being
not
a
scared,
woman
right?
and how, you're not scared.
I'm not
That's fine,
scared.
you're not
I'm from
scared.
Philly. I'm from Philly. We don't get scared. Well, let me go back to the professional me. Okay, so yes. So I think one thing is that, as you can see with this project, is that we as women, we are controlling the storyline. We are doing the casting. We are behind the cameras, in front of the cameras, along with Garland, by the way. So at the end of the day, right, we are in control. I know the latest stuff that came out in Hollywood about all these people getting outed for this misconduct that and misjudgment or lack of judgment, that they displayed is sad. But as many of us know, this has been going on for years. And I would say in regards to Harvey Weinstein, it's upsetting that this is happening now and all of these women are coming forward, because when this stuff came out, Harvey was in the process of helping other producers of color bring stories about people of color to the mainstream. And these are stories that, a lot of studios wouldn't back and support. So he was at the forefront of that. And with this stuff coming out, it's like a double-edged sword. I do not agree with anything that he did. You know, I just think, you know, it's sad. But at the same, on the other side of that, I think it's a big loss for us because he was in a position to help bring some stories to light that I think need to be told. And now all of that is in limbo because of this situation. So, you know, I think the timing was interesting when that happened, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, when you do things like that, you have to pay a cost. And unfortunately, there were others that suffered because of that. And the crazy thing is with the metoo movement is that it was sad to see so many women deal with that type of misconduct. You know, whether it was in the workplace or whether it was, you know, just being a woman. It was just being a woman.
You know what I'm saying? It was just being a woman.
Just being a woman, you know, and to see all the Me Too hashtags and just to think this Me Too hashtag has gone around the world. There's women from around the world that suffered from stuff like this. And I don't think that men understand. Even, let me put it this way. I don't think that the abuser understand the lasting effects this stuff can have on a person that's abused. It messes with self-esteem. It, you know, clouds your judgment. It makes you have anxiety issues. It's a lot that goes along with having to deal with something like that, especially, and I know as women we're talking, but some women, this happened to them when they were children. You know, so just growing up with that is sickening and is disgusting and is shameful, but it's like, what do we do? How do we?
And you know, I think it's Tarana Burke who started the years ago the Me Too but it wasn't even a hashtag. It was just it was a movement in her eyes, right? But it became the hashtag because of what happened with the Harvey Weinstein stuff, and it was meant to be like, you know what, you're not alone, because guess what, Me Too. And I find it interesting, and it seems, and I think it's because I keep on hearing the word control, and it's like, as women, we have to regain control. And that's why I love what you're doing here with the 5 shorts, and how right now you have all women filmmakers with you, and you are behind the camera, you're in front of the camera, and you're controlling it. And I think that's like, we don't have to always pass over our power to a man thinking that it will be better. I think that and I think that it's like a wake-up call for us to do more what you're doing with your 5 shorts.
I think, you know, we have to understand the power that we do have as women. You know, we have power. Even though, you know, in society, the way it's structured, it seems as though our power is limited, but that's only a mindset. If you believe that you're limited, that's what you will be. I think that if more women create production companies, you know, create their own movie studios and things of that sort, TV studios and all of that, that no one can stop us because we have the power. You know, people may try to block you, you know, or, you know, throw a little shade on your name. But at the end of the day.
At the end of the
day, you know, your business is going to speak for you, right? So, you know, we have that power. We just need to move forward with it. And I think as women, all women, you know, all of us, I think a conversation needs to be had about, you know, the women's movement and how can we work out the differences that we have with that, so we as women can get together and do what we need to do. That's another issue. I'm not going to go into it, but
that's for another show.
That's for another show.
That's for your TV show, right? That's a conversation. No, well, that's for a movie, another short film.
Actually, I'm working on a documentary about that.
Yeah.
So
it's true. Like, we have to unite as women. Right.
Stop throwing shade, ladies.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's come together. And what I love too, and like, you got to think about the point of view of life. So Teresa's coming and with the point of view of being a Black teacher.
Right.
Like this is my story I'm telling as someone who looks like me from my point of view.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the same thing about love and life. And I love when, you know, there are Black love stories.
Right.
Like how we feel when we're in love or we're out of love or breaking up. We're, you know, it's not just the same, you know, and I know a lot of us, we hear it a lot in songs nowadays, but it's nice to get that visual of it.
Yes.
And that's so interesting. And I know Camilla's story is a secret, but I'm all about but whatever it's about, I know it's from your point of
about
view.
A young lady. She's a millennial.
Right.
And I think you'll when you see it,
I'm gonna love it. I know it.
You'll understand why I.
Right. Can I say she's a single millennial? So that's like it puts you in a
Yeah.
you know.
Is this about me because I'm single?
Dun, dun,
I'm a
dun.
single.
I don't know.
The plot thickens.
Maybe.
The plot thickens, ladies.
No, but it was great. It was so great. You see, this hour went by so fast. We have a minute left.
Oh shoot! Wow.
We have a minute. So I just want to thank everyone. And you know what? I want you to say something because I feel like your significant other was been so great. Shamika, you gave him a camera and he's been doing a lot of things, right?
Yes.
So I love your shirts that you're wearing, the Hustle Harder shirts. I think that's awesome. And
Yes.
that's his line, right?
Yeah, that's his line. It started out as an idea for him. And as you all know, I'm all about helping people do what they want to do. So I was like, hey, listen, if you really want to do this, then let's do it. And so we put it together and here it is. It's out there.
I love it. So look at Teresa's pictures. I think I did. Shamika did some Facebook Live stuff, right?
Yes.
And then you'll see what the shirts look like, and you'll see all the beautiful faces here in the studio, beautiful and handsome faces in the studio today. But I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Tia Shasha High. And until next time, stay lit, love inspired, and true. I have my girl Delilah Robin up next. It might be a replay show, so I'm going to put that on for you now. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.